Morning, everybody. Cynthia here. Hey, I finally got done with this sort of, I don't know, experimental little art book, art journal. I don't know. I guess I'm not really sure what to call it. I just knew that I wanted to, I don't know, take some time and investigate making books that weren't so square, I guess. And I also have been really interested in, as you know, if you've been watching, designing my own pages for the books that I make. Not really making paper because that gets wet and messy and but painting, doing some intuitive painting and I know I've shared some of that stuff with you as well. Mostly on my blog. So if you'd like, I'm going to put a link to my blog. And if you feel so inclined, you can go there and check some of that stuff out. So this is my book. I'm not sure even what I'm going to call it. But I guess I'll just start. So the cover I actually made out of, it's actually two covers from some of those old Reader's Digest books. I had gotten a whole bunch of those. Kind of took them apart, saved the book covers, because the book covers of whatever era this is from were really beautiful. They all had really pretty designs on them. A little later, I think they quit doing that, but I had saved a bunch of them, and I didn't have the other one of this, which I just love, and sort of fit the color scheme that I was going with really well. So, so I picked out another one that kind of had the same sort of colors, teals. And these books, the covers, actually, the strange shape actually came from after I got done assembling my pages, not binding them, but just assembling them into signatures. I sort of traced around the overall shape of them and decided on the shape of the cover. I'm not sold on it. I'll admit to you that this is sort of an experimental piece. So that's the covers. One of the last books I made, I really I didn't know what to do with the strings from the binding, and I tied them together, and then it sort of made a handle which I liked. It was comfy. The book laid in my hand really nicely, and I didn't have to worry about the book like falling out or my hand. I have arthritis in my hands, and sometimes my hands get really kind of fatigued from holding things. So the strap sort of helped. The binding, I did a mix of Coptic binding and French link binding over some leather tabs. And okay, let's get started. I have not decided what I'm going to do for the ties yet, but I did put some eyelets in there. I will probably braid some cords from the same strings that I used to make the strap, which is basically a friendship bracelet. Some of you might recognize this. Yeah, so I'm probably going to make a couple braids here that I can tie and tie the book closed. So first off, I like how the book lays. I love the colors in it. I'm sure my autofocus is going a little crazy right now. But when I loosely and I very freeform tore the pages and ended up with a lot of different sizes and shapes, which is exactly what I wanted. And then I sort of lined them up according to how long the fold ended up being, as you can tell that the cover does follow the contours of the torn pages. I lined the covers with some fabric that was sort of the same kind of color palette. It's not quite, but hey, that's the beauty of it, I think. So lined that, I sanded off the fabric so that it wasn't, kind of a perfect job. And then I did lightly paint the edges with some watered down acrylic in this beautiful dark sort of deep green that I like so well. So yeah, I'm just going to do a quick leaf through. I did some intuitive painting on two sides of some heavier sort of mixed media paper. Shared photos of those on my blog. And then on my sketch paper, I did just some intuitive mark making on that as well, with watercolor pencils, regular pencil, watered down acrylics, and some watercolor paints. And those I actually, I cut into more uniform squares, but then I bound the squares at different angles inside the book, just to give it a little more interest. So these books are really, for me, they're just about exploring color and the process. Just using different things, gel pens, acrylic paints, watercolor pencils, regular pencils, acrylic paints, both full force and watered down, and just loving the freedom of, oh, and here's some metallic marker, but just really loving the freedom of the movement and just going with the flow, making some handcrafted foam stamps, and it's just all part of it for me. So like I said, it's intuitive. I do not consider myself an artist, but I do love combining colors and textures and just trying new stuff. And I really have been feeling a little bit low lately. I'm sure it's just, fallout from the pandemic and spending a lot of time by myself at home. And this really has been cathartic for me to just be able to spend, I just very selfishly been spending time in my studio, making things, making a mess, getting my hands dirty, and it's helped a lot. So yeah, we'll just finish leafing through all the pages here. I really love my my foam flower stamp. I'll show you what I did with that. So made out of some of that Kids Craft foam, and I made the center separate. So I stamp the center all over the place, and then when I stamp the petals, because I can't see through it, I can only guess where the center of the flower is. So I sort of like it that it's a little bit off kilter then when you stamp the petals down. So anyway, I thought that was kind of fun. A little side note there. So as you can see here, the center is not really in the center, and I'm able to just stamp some circles if I want to. So these are just some little end cuts. I decided to put those in as well. And then I'll show you what I did with those. I do every once in a while like to have sort of pullouts, places where you can do something a little different than you've been doing. And that's what these are. These are just little pullouts you can write a quote on, or whatever you want to do. And then there is the inside of the back cover. There's the tabs on the back. Here's my strap to hold it out, and I absolutely love how it sits with all the pages sort of fanned out like that. And it looks pretty from this side as well. Yeah, I'm just kind of exploring this. I have to say that what I kind of wish I did on the front cover, because I loved, I loved how when I stacked the signatures together, you could see all the different edges and shapes. And now I do kind of wish that I had made my front cover in a shape that echoed this first little piece. I still might do that. I still could. And I might do that in the next one, just because this is still a little too organized for me. But yeah, I could still change the shape of this front cover so you can see some of the things poking out from underneath, and still retain this exact binding. So anyway, I do hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, please please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I would love to see you back here again. And the link to my blog will be below, and make sure to click that. I do basically a photo of the day. I haven't really started doing real bona fide wordy posts, but I usually have a photo or a few, depending on what I'm doing in the studio. So yeah, I would love it if you'd join me there too. And you guys have a great day. Spring has sprung. It's awesome. So, make something, get outside, get your hands dirty. It's a great day to do that. And, all right. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.